So before we start the video, I have to tell you that I made some last minute changes to the story, or this part to be precise. So just a heads up, plus you can see that the thumbnail is different from the drawing that I shared with you guys a couple of days ago. So don't kill me in the comment section, okay? Hello there guys, it's your Publicaon here, back in another video, and today I'm going to do What If Deku Was the Ghost Rider Part 8, hope you enjoy it. So like always, a small recap is needed, but if you somehow missed last part, click an I button right here. And if you want another part of this series, you know the drill, drop a like, and 500 likes and I'll make another part of this series, but how about this time we try to reach 550 likes, okay guys? The more you like, the more YouTube recommend my videos, so the more I grow, so... And I kinda want to reach 10k before I return to school, and I have less than a month, so... Anyway, I'm getting distracted, so the recap. So after Deku tell Aizawa and All Might about his secret, and also Nizu, Aizawa told them about the sport festival and they need to prepare. Deku and Kendo decided to ask All Might for help because they need to build a muscle. So Deku asked him, All Might accepted, so he started teaching them in UA, in his buff form, and outside UA using his skinny form with the help of Gran Torino. Because after Deku told him about his dream about the previous user, he called Gran Torino and told him that he need to meet his successor. So they went to the beach, Gran Torino tested Deku's strength, he was impressed, but he also realized that his experience is higher than normal, so he asked him why, and Deku revealed that he's the rider. So he decided to teach him and Kendo after All Might suggested it. So time went on, but one day when Deku was going around the city in his rider form, he sensed something. He got there and saw Stain fighting Ingenium and another hero on the ground bleeding. So Deku with ease actually was toying a bit with Stain. They defeated him and they captured him and they took the other hero to the hospital because Deku is faster. After that, Deku tracked Stain location because he escaped. They talk revealing that him and Ingenium already know that this society is corrupt. There is a lot of pro heroes that are fake, but Ingenium is not one of them. Stain asks him how does he know and Deku reveal his power. Stain realized that he messed up and he knew that he's going to jail anyway, so he challenged Deku for a 1v1. Deku accepted and with only 2 hits, Stain is knocked out, but with a smile on his face. After that they took him to the police and Deku drove away. Then next day he trained and after school he took Kendo to meet Gran Torino and All Might to train even more. And after his fight with Stain, Deku started pushing his body even more. He doesn't care if he got hurt because he can heal almost instantly. So he was able to push the control over One For All to 35%. Then one day he got another dream of One For All revealing a bit about their past with All For One. Then he have another small talk with Zarathos, and by the end of it Zarathos told him that he will be having more power at his disposal very soon. And I think that's it for the recap, so let's begin. So after the event of last part, time went on, Deku trained. With Kendo, he still felt bad about keeping the Ghost Rider power a secret from her. But just like One For All, he need to keep the secret for her safety. Just in case if he loses control one day of his power and Zarathos will be released. But for some reason he have the feeling that even though if he lost control, Zarathos will give him the control back almost instantly. John did tell him that he's a bit insane, but from their conversation, or short conversation, Deku can sense that he's not insane, or he's just really good at lying. So one day during lunch, Deku is just putting his head on the table, and Kendo asked him what's wrong. Deku told her that Aizawa told him that he's the representative of the first year this year, because he got the first place during entrance exam, so he need to make a speech during the sport festival, and I hate doing speeches. Well, sucks to be you, Kendo replied. Gee, thanks. Kendo laughed a bit. Deku looked at her and smiled. Then she asked him why are you smiling. Oh, it's nothing. I just realized that you have a cute laugh. Kendo blushed, then Deku realized what he said. He blushed also and apologized. And they avoided looking at each other. Then they saw, or Deku saw Mina and Kendo saw Tetsuna looking at them smirking. Anyway, Deku telling her, trying to change the subject. I guess your friend the Rider is getting popular right now. Well, he was able to capture Stain with the help of Ingenium, and he saved the pro hero's life in that matter, so yeah, I guess you're right, Deku reply. Then Kendo starts looking at him to see if there is something familiar between the two. But since Rider is just a flaming skull and Deku, well, is a human, there is no similarities. Then Deku noticed that. What's wrong? There is something on my face? Kendo snapped out of it and told them, nothing. I just spaced out for a bit. Okay, Deku reply. So after that, two of them returned to the classroom. Setsuna asked Kendo why she was blushing, and Mina asked Deku why he was blushing, and both of them tell them to share it. So fast forward to the day of the sport festival. Everyone is in their changing rooms, preparing themselves mentally. Then Todoroki walk up to Deku and basically declare war on him, and he's only going to beat him using his ice. Kirishima tells him to stop, but before he can finish his sentence, Deku giggled a bit. Then he stand up and tell Todoroki, can you tell me this? You come here to become a hero, right? Yeah, Todoroki reply. Then don't hold back, Deku told him. Then he looked at him dead in the eyes and his eyes turned glowing orange. Because in a real fight, if you hold back, you will die. And I am not planning on doing that. And when he said that, he shot Bakugo a quick look. Then Deku's eyes returned to normal and he walked out, and everyone were a bit shocked. Deku was never this aggressive with them, yes with Bakugo but not with them. So the classes start walking one by one to the arena or the middle of the arena. Kendo and Deku wish each other luck, especially Kendo wish him luck because of his speech. Deku sigh, yeah I know. Then Midnight called for Deku to give his speech. Deku started walking toward the mic. He took a deep breath and told them, okay, let's hope I don't mess this up. I guess first off I need to thank everyone for coming here to basically seeing us beating each other's up in a friendly way. Some of them chuckled, then Deku told them, okay, I think that's enough for greetings. Then he looked at the other students and he got serious. Look, I can go on a monologue and tell you guys that we need to do our best to be the strongest, blah blah blah, but come on, who want to hear that again? So what I'm going to tell you is I'm going to aim for the top. And if you are doing the same, prepare to fight for it, because I will. This festival is not for them, it's for us. For us to prove ourselves, to prove that we are here for a reason, to prove that we are the next generation of heroes, to prove in a few years that we are here. But remember, this is just a festival, so do your best and I guess have fun. So people start applauding Deku. It was a decent speech. So Midnight thank him for that, then they spin the wheel and they have the obstacle course at the first test or phase or whatever it was. So while everyone is getting ready, Kendo walk up to Deku and tell him, that was a good speech. Thanks, Deku reply. Then Midnight tell them to get ready and Prismac tell them 3, 2, then Deku power up 10% of One For All, getting the attention of everyone except Kendo and Aizawa. They know what he's doing. Aizawa smirk. Then Mike tell them 1 and go. Then Deku start running. And when he do that, everyone snap from their shock and they start running after him. And by the way, Kendo is almost behind him. So Todoroki was one of the first that snap out of it. So he frees the tunnel using his ice. He was able to capture Deku and Kendo and the rest. Deku was not expecting him to do that, but using his flame, Deku easily melted all the ice. Like all of it. His control over his flames without transforming is getting better and better with each passing day. So with that, everyone was free, then they start running. Todoroki was able to get the first place and Deku was going to catch up, then some robots jumped in front of him, tried to stop him, but Deku just went full one punch man on them, breaking through them by sheer force. Well, One For All force. So he started catching up to Todoroki and Todoroki saw the 0-point robot, so he froze him. But the second he do that, Deku zoomed past him and that forced Todoroki to try to catch up. And by the way, Bakugo is there, angry like always, tried to catch up to the both of them. And Kendo is not too far behind them. Her quirk doesn't actually help too much in terms of running, but because of her training with All Might and Gran Torino, she's a bit faster. Anyway, so while the trio, Bakugo, Deku and Todoroki are basically fighting for the first place, the 0-point robot that Todoroki froze starts falling down. And because Deku already have escaped most or all of the students, not only Kirishima and Tetsu are below it, but also a lot of students. And like Kurishima and Tetsu said in the anime, if it was not for their quirk, they will be dead. So you can guess that it's not a good place to be. So through the mic, Aizawa and President Mike yell at them to watch it, and that got the attention of Deku. So he looked behind him and his eyes widen. 0 Point Robot is going to crush most of them. One of them is Kendo. So instantly turn around, power up 20% and jump towards 0 Point Robot, and he start thinking, I need to catch it. I need to catch it. He stick both of his hand, then suddenly he felt something within him bubbling and going over the limit. Then suddenly Black Whip came up from his hand and grabbed 0 Point Robot. It was able to stop it and push the 0 Point Robot or throw it away, but Deku started losing control. Black Whip was going to attack some students. Then Deku heard a voice inside his head. Calm your heart, kid. What? That's the only way. Calm your heart to control Black Whip. Black Whip? You mean this Tanjiro's or something? Yeah. Black Whip will follow what you desire. Whatever emotion you use during that moment, it will respond to that. So calm your heart. You already know how to do that using your other power. You can do it, kid. We believe in you. Deku took a deep breath. He's still a bit in pain using Black Whip. So he starts coming down. And Black Whip suddenly stopped and started going toward Deku or going back to him. Then after a few seconds, it's completely gone and Deku dropped to his knees, gasping for air. And when Kendo saw that, she rushed at him and tell him, Izuku, you okay? Yeah, I'm okay, just in pain and a bit dizzy. Okay, thank God, but what was that? Well, I don't know what was that, but I have a theory. But let's talk after the race, okay? She nodded. Then Deku's eyes turned orange and flame comes surrounding his body for a second. Then it disappeared. Then Deku gets up. Oof, that's much better. I think you need to start running, Deku told Kendo. Oh, okay, but what about you? Deku grinned. I have another way. Then smoke started coming from his feet. Then it turned to flames. Deku started levitating or flying a bit. See you at the finish line, Deku told Kendo. Then he started flying toward Todoroki and Bakugo. And that shocked Kendo. He can fly? He's just like him. Izuku, are you a rider? But Kendo shook her head and told herself she would think about it later. So she started running and the rest followed suit. And for the teachers, whatever was that room, All Might start thinking, what was that? Was it one of the quirks of the previous user? So that's the secret that Master was talking about? And Aizawa start thinking the same thing. So he started flying toward Bakugo and Todoroki. He was able to catch up pretty quick. And when they saw that, Todoroki started using his eyes to make pillars in front of Deku to stop him. And at the same time making ice in front of him so he can get ahead. Bakugo on the other hand started using bigger explosion to get ahead of them, but Deku just smirked. He started using more firepower from his leg, and he started condensing it more and more, basically like Shinra from Fire Force. And that suddenly increased in power, giving him a major speed boost that he fly past Todoroki and Bakugo in a blink of an eye. Everyone was shocked about the speed, even Deku. So while he's flying, he started thinking, like he always do, so if I concentrate my flames in one place and release them, it will be more powerful, huh? Then he saw something a bit concerning. He's getting close to the finish line a bit too fast. So when he's inside the tunnel, Deku starts using his flames and starts sliding, but that wasn't enough to stop him, so he started using flames from his hand to stop himself, and after he stopped, that was close. Then he looked around and saw Ivan just speechless. Then they start cheering for him. And Deku raised his hand and smiled. And when All Might saw that, he smiled. And after a few seconds, well, a bit more than that, Todoroki and Bakugo come through the tunnel, with Todoroki this time getting the third place and Bakugo the second. And the reason is Bakugo is a bit stronger than the original because of Deku. Ever since his power showed up, Bakugo started getting angry more than usual, thinking that right now Deku is looking down on him. Yeah, just remove the fact that he saved him almost a year ago. Yeah, we forgot about that, okay? So after that, one by one the students start arriving. Kendo was one of them. She saw Deku, she walked toward him, but she saw that he's walking toward Todoroki. And he's pissed. Oh no, she thought to herself, she started walking toward him. Then Deku called out for Todoroki, he turned around and Deku grabbed him by his collar of his jacket or shirt or whatever that UA clothes were. I think it was a jacket. Yo, Blue, you're getting off topic. Sorry about that. So when Deku lifted him up, he growled at him. What was that, Todoroki? His classmate told him to calm down, then Deku told him, I'm not going to calm down. He almost hurt the rest of the students. And you guys, heck, may be worse than that. If it was not for this black thing that come from my hand, all of you will be hurt, or worse. Todoroki apologized and tell him, I was not aiming to do that. I was trying to stop you, not hurt them. And that angers Deku. His eyes turned orange, then Kendo put her hand on his shoulder and tell him to calm down. It was just an accident. Plus no one was hurt, so calm down. Deku let go of Todoroki, or basically push him to the ground. Next time remember this, Todoroki. You're not the center of everything. Other people's matter. Then Deku turned around and walk away, and Kendo start walking behind him. She catch up to him and tell him, you okay? I should be asking you that. You are the one who almost got crushed. Yeah, I'm fine. That's why I'm asking you if you're okay, because that black thing was hurting you, right? Deku nod, but don't worry, I'm fine now. Okay, if you say so, but what was that? Well, I have a theory. You see, the strength part of my quirk is actually a stockpile. I basically store energy, and when I use it, I will become stronger, faster, and more durable. And those black thing, I think, were like my energy going out from my body, or in a way. I see. So that's why you were hurt. You cannot handle all your strength, right? Deku nod. Not yet at least, Deku reply. Kendo smile. I know. Deku smiled back. Then Midnight call out for them and tell them it's time for the second event, and it's the cavalry battle. And when she tell them Deku have 10 million, everyone start looking at him, then Deku speak up a bit too loud. Damn, people did tell me I'm a snack, but not this much. Some people laugh, some people think that he's a bit arrogant, but someone was a bit more annoyed and a bit jealous. Kendo. Setsuna saw that and told her, well, he's not wrong. Kendo glared at her, then Setsuna told her to calm down. I'm just messing with ya. I am not going to take your boyfriend. Kendo blushed, well, he's not... never mind. Then Midnight told them to create a team. Deku walked toward her if making a team is necessary. Why are you asking? She asked. Well, since I already have 10 million points, I just need to keep it and win. So if I create a team, maybe they will think that they did not earn their win, and at the same time everyone is going to target them. So can I be along in my team? I know the cavalry battle that mean that the rider will not touch the ground, but remember I can fly, so Midnight start thinking, well, I can see your point. Even though I want to let you do it on your own, letting you do it on your own will create uneven numbers in the finals. And we cannot afford to do that. I see, it's okay. So Deku walk away from her and Kendo walk up toward them and ask him, what did you talk about? So Deku told her, I see, but why I can sense that there is another reason you want to do that. You know me well, don't ya? Kendo nod. Well, it's about the black tendrils. Even though I was able to control them, they were almost going to hurt the others. So then Kendo told him, you're afraid that you will hurt anyone near you. Deku nod. Don't worry, I know that you can handle them right now. Plus, if push comes to shove, I can always knock you out. Hey, I'm not Munama. I don't like getting knocked out. I am not a masochist. Kendo laughed a bit. Deku sighed. So you want to be in my team? You don't need to ask. Kendo replied while smiling. Deku smiled back. Okay, we need 2 more. Then Oraka approached him and told him that she wanted to be in his team. Deku accepted, and lastly to Koyami. So the teams are set, and the second president might tell them to begin. Everyone charged at Deku. Deku smirked. Well, that was expected. So what do you want to do? Deku smirked and his eyes turned orange. Let's crank up the heat, shall we? Then Deku extend both of his hands in front of him and create a massive wall of flames in front of them. Then the walls start expanding and going around them, basically forming a circle around them. Everyone was shocked that he's able to do that. Then Deku told them, I think that's far enough for you to not get hurt by the flames. So what now? They ask him. Well, staying here I guess. I think there is only 2 people that will be able to go past the wall. Todoroki and Bakugo. The biggest problem here is Todoroki because he can make a wall of ice around my flame. He can stop them. So all his team can go through it. But if Bakugo do that, he will be solo. And he will try to attack us fast, so that's why we have Dark Shadow. He will protect us and I will try to push him back, or beat him, whoever comes first. But if Todoroki arrive here first, you know what to do, right Kendo, Oraka? They nod. So after seeing the wall of flames, most of the contestants just gave up because they cannot go through it. Even Monoma thought of going, but he started to respect Izuku, and Kendo is in his team, and he will definitely win because he's strong. So Class 1B will advance, or one of them will advance to the finals. So for now he only focused on the other teams, like Bakugo. Even though he wanted to beat Deku, he still encountered Monoma. He got angry, you know the rest. Meanwhile, Todoroki, like Deku expected, he used a massive wall of ice to go through Deku's flames, but the ice is melting fast. Even though Deku is not using his full flame power in that wall, it's still enough to deal with Todoroki. So they saw that and they formed a plan to basically use Ida's Isaburo burst to go through the flame before the ice completely melt. Everyone was shocked about Ida increase in speed, but not Deku, because he already fought with Ingenium. So if Ingenium have, like you guys pointed out, an ultimate move or final move like Ida in the anime in 1B versus 1A, or something similar, you know, Ida have engine in his legs and Tensei have in his arms, but almost the same thing. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, even though everyone were caught by surprise, Deku was not. And Kendo, remember, she was training with All Might and Gran Torino. And Gran Torino is fast in his own right, although for a few seconds, but he's still fast. So right before they reach them, Kendo make her hand go bigger, and she create enough wind pressure to push them away from Todoroki's team. And the reason she was able to do that, it's because Uraraka already used her quirk on them. So basically they are weightless, so Kendo create enough wind pressure to push them away. So Todoroki's team was surprised, so they turn around, and when Todoroki meet Deku, Deku erased his left hand and fire a flame at them. And Todoroki unintentionally fired his own flame to counter Deku's, and it was able to do the trick because Deku was holding back. He wasn't going to hurt them too much. So after Todoroki snapped from his shock, he made a massive wall of ice toward Deku, but Deku was able to melt it and they move aside. Well, he didn't melt all of it, but that wall of ice created an opportunity for Bakugo's team to attack Deku. And by using Ashido's quirk, they were able to copy Todoroki's team by going really fast with Bakugo's explosions, but I don't think as fast as Isaburo burst. I don't know, what do you guys think? Anyway, so once again Deku's team were able to avoid that attack, but this time when they dodge, Bakugo start insulting Deku. What's wrong, Deku? Are you running away like always? This time I'm going to beat you and your pathetic team. Kirishima and Saro, even Mina, tell Bakugo that's a bit harsh. Then they felt something menacing looking at them. They looked at Deku and his eyes are burning orange, literally, almost like flames are coming out of them. And black whips are going out from his body, specifically from his back. But this time because Deku is using his Ghost Rider power, and you know Ghost Rider can improve anything that he can touch, the Tanjiros are covered with flames, making them even more scarier. Then the Tanjiros were going to attack Bakugo, but the siren went off, and at the same time the Tanjiros just disappear. But Deku's eyes are still orange. Then he thought to himself, I did not stop them. Then who? Then it hit him, Aizawa. Bakugo's team, even Deku's team, are a bit shocked. Then Deku scoff and tell Bakugo, next time you will not be so lucky. After that the team split, and Pesgmak announced that they are going for a break and they will come back after lunch. So Kendo, Deku, Uraraka, and Ida are talking about what just happened. His Tanjiros were a bit different. I think it's because this time I used my fire with it. At first I only used my power aspect, but this time I used my fire with it, so I think the two merge in a way. That makes sense. Then Kendo remembered something. He asked Deku about his history with Bakugo. From what he told her before Yue, he did tell her that he didn't have a lot or any friends in his middle school. So when she asked him, Deku avoided the question and told her, don't worry about it. She was going to insist, then All Might called for Deku and tell him, can we talk? So Deku went with All Might to an empty room, and when he entered he saw Aizawa. So when they sit down, Deku told them, let me guess, you're going to ask about the Tanjiros? They nod. Well, I can tell you this is not a power for a Ghost Rider. That means it's from one for all. Deku nod. Plus, I did hear someone talking to me. They were surprised. Really? Deku nod. It was a man, and he told me to calm my heart, to control the power, and they believe in me. But that's it. Do you think he's one of the users? I think that's it, young Midoriya. All Might tell him. Then Aizawa gets serious and tell him, from what I saw earlier, you were able to control them somewhat. So, yeah, you're not wrong, I was able to do that. So how did you do it? Actually, I don't know, I only focused on Bakugo and thought I need to catch him or beat him. I see, you're Midoriya. What is the history between you and Bakugo? I know that you two are from the same middle school, but from what I can see, you two have history, and not a good one. So care to share? Young Midoriya, can you, All Might add? Deku sigh. Do you really want to know? They nod, so he proceeds to tell them what happened to him from age 5 until his power manifest. How Bakugo was his friend and he started bullying him and calling him Deku because he doesn't have a quirk. How he pushed everyone away from him and threatened them, and sometimes they join him to beat him up even more. And his favorite, take a swine dive off the roof and hope for a quirk in your next life. And when they heard the last sentence, they were shocked. So I think All Might was quirkless before he got One for All. So I'm pretty sure he did experience some bullying because of it. I don't have any sword, this is my theory, guys. So he did expect that Deku will have some bullying, but not this much. And Bakugo, oh my god. And Aizawa is the most shocked about it. He knew that Bakugo have some anger problems, but this is too much. I should expel him right now. All Might protest a bit and tell him he's still a kid, we can change him and make him, well, better. Then Aizawa get an idea and asks Deku, since he's the one was getting bullied, he should have the right to decide what happened. Deku sigh and tell them, can I be honest? They nod. Pardon my French, but I don't give a single F what happened to him anymore. So do whatever you want. But if he wrong me or someone I care about, he will understand in a painful way why the Ghost Rider is called the Spirit of Vengeance. And when he said that, his eyes turned orange, and that shocked them both. Okay, so can I leave? I need to eat something, I'm hungry. They nod. Deku walked to the door, but before he got out, Aizawa stopped him and tell him, if somehow you end up against Bakugo, I want you to hold back. What? Deku shout. You heard me, Midoriya. Hold back. I know your true strength, and you can kill him easily, so don't. I want you to hold back. So you're taking his side now? Deku shout. I am not taking anyone's side. It's just I don't want you to be in trouble. Past or not, killing him will be too far. Deku grit his teeth and tell him, I will try. That's the best you can have from me. Then Deku exit. You know, All Might tell Aizawa, if he actually beat him, I actually understand his feeling. So if he beat him up, I will not hold it against him. I know, Aizawa tell him. It's just, you know, if he lost control, if he let himself be controlled by Zarathos, no one will be able to stop him, not even you. I remember what he told us. Once Zarathos take control, he will be way more powerful than his normal self. And he's already pretty strong in his Ghost Rider form. And that is without One for All. All Might sigh, I can see your point. Let's just hope that he will have enough mental fortitude to not do that. All Might agree with him. So let's go back to Deku. When he exits, he starts making his way toward where Skindo is, or where she told him she's going to be. But then he was stopped by someone, Todoroki. Deku sighed loudly and tell him, what do you want? Clearly annoyed by his presence, Todoroki apologized once again about his earlier stunt. He actually did not expect him to be that fast. Deku sigh and tell him, it's okay Todoroki, it's just, I know, your girlfriend was under the robot. I understand. Deku blush and tell him, she's not my girlfriend, she's just my friend. Really? Deku nod. Whatever. Sorry for the misunderstanding. I never had friends like growing up, so... Deku sigh and tell him, you too, huh? Todoroki's eyes widen. What do you mean? You also didn't have any friends growing up? Deku nod. But why? It seems that 1A, even 1B are actually pretty friendly to you. Yeah, I know, but in my old middle school, let's just say that everyone bullied me because I was quirkless. Todoroki's eyes widen even more. Quirkless? But you have a quirk. Yes, right now. I'm actually a late bloomer. My quirk only manifested a year ago. I did hear there is some people that develop quirks late in life. Deku nod. And you are looking at one. So basically, because of that, everyone pushed me aside. They even bullied me because I was different from the others. I see. Sorry if I brought up something uncomfortable. It's okay, Todoroki. I understand that everyone have their own past. Yeah, then Todoroki put his hand on his burn mark. Well, since we are talking about our past, I will tell you why I told you that I'm going to use only my eyesight in locker rooms. Then he proceeded to tell him a little bit about his past. Not too much, but just enough for Deku to get the full picture. Endeavor was abusing him, and when he finished, Deku is pissed. Todoroki can feel the heat coming from Deku. Midoriya, you okay? And after Deku heard that, he calmed down, he took a deep breath and told him, yeah, I'm fine. But you're his son, his own flesh and blood, and I know, he's a bastard. And a coward, Deku replied. No one should treat others like that, especially his own flesh and blood. And I apologize about my earlier statements. It's okay, Midoriya. You didn't know. Deku smiled. Good. But Todoroki, sorry, but you will have to use your flames against me. Look, I understand, but it's not his quirk. It's yours. It's your body. Your choice. If you actually want to screw him over and basically tell him F you to his face, use your power, because the way you're doing it, you're letting him inside your head. You're basically telling us that he will be always a part of you. So hear my advice, Todoroki. Even though you share his blood, you're not him. You're your own person. You told us that you want to become a hero, so be one and be better than him. Todoroki's eyes widened and he remembered his mom's word. A small smile crept on his face and he thanks Deku for everything. Hey, we are flame buddies. Of course I will have your back. Todoroki giggled a bit and tell him, you're a bit weird. I know, Deku said while smiling. Anyway, I need to go to get something to eat. Todoroki nodded and tell him, see you later. So Deku joined Kindo, Oraka and Ida, and they asked him what Aizawa need from him. He told them he wanted to know what were the Tanjiros, so he explained, but he didn't tell them about the rest of the conversation. Kindo saw that he's thinking of something. She told him what's wrong. He shook his head. It's nothing. Izuku, you know I'm your friend. You can tell me. Deku looked at her. It's okay, so don't worry about it. If you say so. Remember, if you want to talk, I am here. Kindo said that while smiling. Deku smiled back. Then Oraka told them, you sure you two are just friends? You know, if you are hiding that you are dating, don't. We will accept you guys. The pair blushed and they told her that we are just friends. Then President Mike made an announcement and he told every student to come back. It's time for the finals. And I'm going to stop it right here. So what do you think of it, guys? What will Deku do with this new information? Will Todoroki will be able to use his fire side? What will happen in next part? Leave your thoughts in comments down below, and if you enjoyed the video and do you want another part of this series, 500 likes I will make it, and if you are new, subscribe, there's more videos like this coming, and like always guys, peace.